Back his time. Gentleman from New York.
I yield myself 3 minutes, Mr.
Gentleman is
Speaker.
recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in strong support of the resolution and commend the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader for their good work. We have before us an excellent memorial resolution. It is succinct, strong, and truly expresses what I believe to be the position of the entire House. As we consider this resolution, I would suggest that every member take a moment to close their eyes. If they're in their offices, turn off the chattering of the television or the importuning of their staff and try to think back to September 11th, 2001. It really was 8 years ago. Remember how beautiful a day that was. Perfect. Clear, crisp September day with a cloudless sky. Remember where you were when you heard that our nation was under attack, when you first saw those awful images of the towers gushing black smoke and the Pentagon in flames. Remember the thousands of our fellow Americans who perished in the World Trade Center and at the Pentagon. Remember the inconceivable heroism of the first responders who rushed into the flames and the chaos in order to save others. Remember the defiant courage of the passengers on United Flight 93 who lost their lives but probably saved the most glorious symbol of our democracy in the world, the U.S. Capitol, and the many, many who were working here on that day. Remember our shock and fury. Remember our national unity and the feeling of common purpose. Remember how the whole world stood with us and shared our outrage and our agony. These memories are available to all of us if we take but that one moment. We all experience these events, and all that's needed is to take the moment, to set aside a little bit of time and let it all come back. Why? Is it a morbid fascination with catastrophe? Is it merely to justify some policy or expenditure? I would suggest two other reasons. First, the memory is what we owe to those who were so unjustly murdered. We cannot bring them back, and we cannot give meaning to the horrific act that took them from us. But we can remember them as our fellow Americans, as people whose lives were connected to thousands of our fellow citizens who still mourn them to this very day. Second, I think we should take the moment to ponder the last 8 years. What have we done in response to that day? What have we learned? What do we still owe to those who died? And what we have used their deaths to justify? Have we made the world a safer place? Have we made our homeland more secure? Will the next generation of Americans face more or less danger because of our actions? Each of us will still have our own answers to these questions, just as each one of us remembers that awful day uniquely. Yield myself another 15 seconds.
Jones recognized for additional 15 seconds.
In this great nation, which gives each person complete freedom of thought, belief, and expression, in which the governed choose who will govern them, the meaning of 9/11 and the consequences of that terrible, terrible, terrible day remain for us to decide, each man and woman for themselves. All it takes is that moment to remember.